Hello everyone, it's Michael Davison. Today I'm showing you some custom quilting that I've done on my client Tracy's quilt. She brought this quilt in for me and she told me it was a gift for her granddaughter. So she asked for light to medium density quilting. Okay, so for that means that I'm ditching most every shape, and light to medium means that she's getting some fill work but not necessarily everything to be filled, and the density is going to be light to medium. All right, so I already knew that my main task was going to be spent ditching. I was going to spend most of my time ditching a lot of these little pieces. So that's what I did. Here's what the quilt looks like finished, and then here's what it looked like when she brought it in. So I thought, okay, I think I want to connect the stars as the secondary design, and that'll give it sort of a lattice appearance. And then just an echo inside the main star, the larger stars, and basically everything else is just going to be ditch work. Except I did decide to put a very light fill in all the sashings, and I decided to go with the wishbone design. Okay, so before I take you to the video, I am using my 22-inch Innova with lightning stitch quilting machine as usual, and the batting today is Quilter's Dream Orient. This is what my client requested. If you haven't used Orient, it's a blend of bamboo, silk, botanic tencel, and cotton. So this combination produces a really, really beautiful drape. Okay, so with this quilt, I wasn't quite sure which path to take. It took me a few rows to figure out, or a few blocks to figure out, okay, what is going to be my plan of action for backtracking over the least amount of seams and making progress and not having to break thread a lot. So here, I'll just show you by doing it. Here we go. So I'm crossing over to the small star. My idea was to connect all the stars. You'll see it when the whole quilt is finished. Basically, here's one of our doubles. I have to go over that line twice. And I am using a little bit thicker thread today. This is a 40 weight. But I'm not doing a lot of dense quilting. So see, we're crossing over, and the first few rows I did, I would cross to here, and then I went around and did my square, and then came back to this point. But as I progressed, because I'm towards the bottom quarter of this quilt, I realized I needed to do a little bit of stabilization at the bottom because I had a little bit of fullness. So I've already gone around and done all of the large blocks, but had it been previous, I would have come to this point and done ditching around the whole block, and then went across to here and then start. So what I'm doing is I'm ditching the outline of the top half of the star, and I either need to fill in the center during this pass or during my second pass. So I choose to do it the first time that I get it. So I've come into the star here. So now I'm going to work the center of the star. First thing I'm going to do is ditch around the inside shape. And when I get back to the beginning, I'm not perfect. This is not a show quilt. It is a client quilt, but it's not a show quilt. And she's okay if I'm not perfect. So here, I have the chance, I could break thread because I'm gonna echo it a 1/4 inch on the inside here, but I don't. So I'm just consistent for everyone. I travel in a 1/4 inch right here, and then I put my echo. And it really looks fine. Like, no one is judging this quilt for an award. It's still going to be pretty though. Okay, so I do my 1/4 inch echo, all the way around the inside. Okay, then I come back out, and now I continue outlining the top half of the star. I don't do the whole thing. I'm just doing the top. Sometimes I use the stop button, and sometimes I just keep the machine going. I have it going at a very, very slow minimum start speed, or cruise mode, or coast, whatever you want to call it. See right there, it's going very slow. So as long as I, am in control when I change positions with my ruler, and I don't let the machine fly all over the place, it's fine. But sometimes I'll stop, move my ruler, stop, move my ruler. And, that's usually how I start a project until I get used to it, used to the pattern of what I'm doing. And so now I'm kind of used to it. So here, this is a spot where I've chosen, when I go across, I already know that this, I don't know if you can see it from the camera, this already got ditched. This side doesn't. It doesn't get ditched here, which is fine. There's plenty of ditching on this quilt. So I go all the way across. I'm gonna go up. Here's the point where I am going over previous stitching. Just fine, just try to stay on it the best I can, not be too bulky. Come back down. And now we're gonna cross over again to a new block. And had it been earlier, I would have stopped here and outlined my big shape, but I've already done that. So, coming over here, and I'm going actually all the way here to this point, and now we've reached the center of the star again, so I'm going to ditch it on this one. Some of them she didn't, I call it snowballing, she didn't snowball those corners on every one. I don't know exactly what the reasoning is. I can't see an exact pattern for it, but I'm not going to question it. It's still beautiful. So this is just a square. So I'm going to do the same thing though. I'm going to just ditch the square. Then I'm going to travel over 1/4 inch. I'm going to echo inside the square. Okay, back to the start. And again, I am outlining the top half. So this is ditch work, and I am partial to my own ruler. This is what I'm using, and you know why? Look at, it's a straight, I mean, any straight edge will do, but when I'm ditching a ton here, and one thing that's not, it wasn't designed for this purpose, but my inside circle shape here is great for me to put my thumb here. And when I'm ditching, it's, I can't tell you how much great control you get from this part. So if you pick this up, try that. I mean, it's just, it's slightly different than having a square edge here. This little indentation is really great. So anyway, I love it. This is the perfect position for me. My thumb is able to do the pivoting. My pinky can rest on the quilt if I need it, and then I have a few fingers up here. Anyway, I'm not boasting about, it because it's mine. I designed it because it's what I wanted, and I use it. And I thought, well, if I like it, maybe someone else will. I'm not, at this point, I'm not in the business of manufacturing and retailing, but that can certainly be part of what I do. Okay, so once again, we've gotten into the center of this star block, and I'm going to ditch around this shape. Or close to it. Close enough, right? Okay, and then right here, I'm going to travel in 1/4 of an inch. And now I'm going to echo inside the shape of 1/4 of an inch, which I think the shape is an octagon in a strange way. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's an octagon. With unequal sides, which I'm sure there is a geometry term for that I should know. It's an octagon, but it's not an equilateral octagon, maybe? I'm just guessing. Okay, so back out here to ditch around the top again of the star. I don't get it perfect every time, but I try my best to do a good job. See, I'm perfectly okay that that's outside there. Okay, now here's the part where we go cross over to the next star. And we'll get this other side on our next pass. Okay, I'm noticing something here. When I get to the top of this point, I'm missing a line, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in now. And just double right over it and come back down. Okay, cross it over. You know, we miss things once in a while. Okay, I'm outlining this shape. My octagon with irregular sides. When I get to this one, I try to stay on the outside of the pattern fabric just because the thread does show up a little bit more on this. I don't mind it on the echo. I forget what I just said. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever. I tried to get some footage of the easy fills and the sashing, but as you can see, my camera didn't like it so much, so you'll have to take my word for it. I don't want to make you dizzy. Here's a little bit of doing the wishbone, but perhaps you should just look at it in the final product. I hope you've enjoyed watching how I worked on this quilt, and I like sharing these. I find that I like to watch other people's YouTube videos on quilting and just become kind of mesmerized. I enjoy just watching it, even if they do the same block over and over. It's sort of like I'm practicing with them. So I hope this has helped someone or inspired someone, given you some ideas for quilting. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed, and I really look forward to seeing you next time when I post some content, and I love to hear back from you. Okay, so I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.